Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while. We're still a
Hey
thing. Yeah,
everyone.
dude. Welcome back to the Bacon Bits podcast. More coming at you
If
after
you're
this
still
one.
around.
Yeah, dude, it's been so long. Hope you guys are safe. Right.
It's 2021 and the pandemic is still a thing,
So,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, I don't think conventions are happening this year.
Oh no, not at all.
Um,
Not at all. We're not going anywhere. I mean, I hope you all are not going anywhere. Please stay safe. It's still not safe out there.
yeah. In all honesty, I'm kind of used to staying at home now. I'm almost to the point now where like don't, I don't want to go anywhere, kind of deal. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, there's not really a point to go out unless you kind of have to. I mean, I still go out occasionally to do certain things, but it's not like out to be like I want to be outside.
only
Um,
thing I've done is go for
I think
walks, which is what I need.
I think a lot of people, because we can't really do much outside,
Mm.
a lot of people have been picking up hobbies again. Um, and by hobbies, I mean collecting things. And by collecting things, I mean trading
Dude, we gotta
cards.
spend. I have all this money. I gotta spend it somewhere, man.
It's crazy, like, how this pandemic has really made trading cards, like, I don't know, if you collect trading cards, if you haven't been paying attention at like your local Target, your Walmart, wherever trading cards are sold, damn, cleared out.
Well,
It is crazy, regardless of what you collect.
right, right.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, uh, sports cards are making a comeback. It's
Well, I think
crazy.
everyone's just trying to make these like, and we're not gonna talk much about what's currently going on with the whole stock market thing, but I think it's the whole thing with everyone's trying to make the right investment somewhere to where they could kind of be ready for the next whatever disaster that they could make money off of, kind of deal. I don't know. I always think to myself that we're always kind of lurking in the shadows of trying to find ways to make money, kind of deal.
I mean, it's totally an investment to collect cards again, especially right now. Though I also think a lot of, especially our generation, um, and I guess the generation before us, a lot of it comes from nostalgia. Like, we're very nostalgic people, and I think a lot of us like to think about, like, when we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh when it first came out, when Pokemon cards first came out, and how we collected them as kids, and then, I guess for Pokemon, because I'm collecting Pokemon, you're collecting Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Well, I guess I wouldn't say collecting Yu-Gi-Oh. That's one
But I
thing.
mean, you're
Well,
buying cards
I'm
again, is
active.
what I
Yeah, I
mean.
would like to say I'm active in this hobby, just like how you're active in
Yeah,
Pokemon,
and
for sure.
so at least with Pokemon, uh, I guess at the beginning of 2020 pre-pandemic, um, a YouTuber, Leonhardt, he pulled the first edition base set Charizard, and I remember that clip going pretty viral, and people were like, man, what, people are getting hyped about like these cards, like why are they getting that excited? And it was because it was worth a lot. But then that didn't mean anything quite until I believe Logan Paul. Oh yeah, we all love Logan Paul, right?
No comment.
Logan
Go on.
Paul. He was opening booster packs, and that got people to want to open booster packs. And then I think the rapper Logic bought like a first edition base set Charizard for like 200 plus $1,000, and that really just like set it off. Like, damn, Pokemon cards are worth something. And I think it kind of started snowballing from there. I started, so I've always wanted to get back into Pokemon cards. Like, I think throughout the years, looking at different sets and stuff have kind of like tempted me, and like I've always wanted, just like, hey, I kind of want to collect again, but I never really did it because I knew it would be kind of a rabbit hole, which it really is.
It takes
Um,
a lot of research or just catching up. I mean, as of right
yeah,
now, for me with Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm still catching up to what's kind of going on. But I think give
yeah,
me like
same.
another month, and I'll understand what's the meta, the counters, and like the in thing right now. Because in terms of play style for Yu-Gi-Oh, you can imagine it's completely changed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it is for Pokemon too. And what I'm saying is, like, I think I started again like in early December when I decided, like, I'm gonna buy some stuff. And I still remember seeing some stuff on the shelves, but it was still pretty scarce. And again, like Yu-Gi-Oh, mechanics have changed. The game has evolved since we first started collecting. And
Right.
at least for Yu-Gi-Oh, when you and I were playing like early 2010s or something like that.
So if I remember correctly, it was like early 2010, so 2014, 13 or 14 when you were introducing me to the new mechanic of X-Seed summoning. And I was so like lost on that. I was like, what the heck, like what is all this? And then we started going up to speed, and then we all fell out of it.
I think like a year or two later.
Year or two later. No, I know. Oh, it's all aligning. Actually, you're correct. Very early 2010s. So it was like 2011, 2012, because 2014 was the year I hurt my back, and that's when quill pendulums were new. I don't know how I linked those two together, but I just...
I mean, I definitely wasn't collecting as soon as I started my full-time job. I was collecting in college, which was kind of a bad idea considering I didn't have like the most money.
Same. Well, I was and that's the scary thing about this is we have
now we have full-time jobs.
We have full-time jobs that pay well enough for us to actually start making plans of like continuing.
It's so dangerous. It's so
continuing
bad.
to build credit. We're trying to build houses, but then all of a sudden you think to yourself like $4 for a booster pack is nothing. Then all of a sudden you think $100 for a booster box is nothing, and as a kid that's like a lot. Like you had $10, man. You better hope your pool game was good, and mine wasn't. It was awful.
Like you could only really afford to buy like maybe 1 or 2 packs, and then that was kind of it. You kind of used your lunch money.
Exactly. And like just the thought of buying a single was foreign. Like, wait, that card is $20? Like, oh, and you're just like, that's...
Yeah, that was a lot back then.
It is.
Shit, it's bad now.
I mean, that's a lot now. Still, like, but then...
I mean, it's weird because for me, my viewpoint, $20 card, I'm just like... That's not terrible.
Right, because our standards, because we know what the ceiling is. So the thing that's crazy now is that the fact that we have full-time jobs, we could fuel our addiction of getting like the good stuff, right? And our chances of building our dream decks or building our dream collection skyrockets.
But that's the thing too. It's not just us. That's why I tied it into our generation, where it's like, other people during this pandemic, they also have jobs, or I would hope that they have jobs. and like they're also collecting cards, and they're kind of on the same page as us. We're not special in this case, there are a lot of other people wanting to buy these cards, and it's insane. So it's like it's a competition right now. It's crazy.
So starting with you in Pokemon, because that's your main thing right now. From like the beginning when you were stepping back into it, what was going on? Like, what was your process into what you're getting into now?
Oh my god! So like to like dip my toes back into it.
Go back into it. What happened? So you need to keep me up to date now because I don't know your whole story.
Okay, so I don't know what it was, but I think I remember just seeing on Twitter. I follow like Funko accounts, and there was this one Funko account that was like tweeting out about Pokemon stuff. Because I guess they also collect cards. And I think it was about the time when I think it was Champions Path first started coming out, which is the Champions Path Elite Trainer box with the G-Max Charizard on it, and it came with the if you were lucky, you got either the Rainbow Rare G-Max Charizard or the shiny Charizard Full Art card.
Okay.
And I just remember like that went out, and then I was like, I had it in my cart, and I was gonna buy it, and they're like, "Nah, I'm a pass."
Wait, was this online
and
or
then,
in person?
This was online GameStop.
Okay.
And then I remember seeing pre-orders open for Shining Fates, which is the new set that's coming out like this coming month. And I was like, I had it in cart, and it's like, "Nah, I'm gonna pass." And then after thinking about it, I was like, I kind of do want to get back into Pokemon cards. Like I think I remember. I was at work one day. I was doing something and I needed some like background noise, so I decided I'm gonna watch some booster pack openings. So I watched Leonhardt on YouTube, and he was opening stuff. I watched some of like his big pulls, how he pulled like these Charizard cards and whatnot, and in various forms and languages. And I was like, fuck, now I have this itch that I want to open up booster packs. Then I saw this opportunity arise where Champions Path Elite Trainer box was for retail on Amazon, and I was thinking about it. Like, I had it in my cart, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it now, because like I don't know, I hate when I hesitate about something and I just regret it. And so I bought 2 Elite Trainer boxes.
Boxes. So how many booster packs were in those boxes?
There are 10 packs in each box. And then I remember getting the first box. I opened it. They were okay pulls. I mean, I got a Charizard because it comes with a Charizard. And then I got the second one. Okay pulls. I mean, overall, Champions Path is kind of a trash set with 2 great chase cards.
Great.
And then from there, like, I was like, man, I like opening up booster packs. You know, I'm gonna see if I can get more. And then I looked for a subreddit about Pokemon cards, and they were talking about whenever things come out, and then every time a post came out, they were already sold out, and people were saying, you gotta follow the Discord. That's when, you know, things are more, like real time.
Jesus.
So I joined the Discord.
So in terms of information gathering, you're a little deeper than I am right now, because I just look up YouTube videos. But go on.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to though these days. That's how bad the state of Pokemon TCG is. Like, you know, literally, you go to the store, everything that's worth anything is cleared off the shelves. There's almost like no cards in Target, Walmart, wherever else you get Pokemon cards. And like, anytime something goes live for like retail price, it gets swooped up real quick, because people are trying to build up their sealed collections. People are trying to pull the chase cards. People are trying to resell. People are trying to trade.
So the new stuff is still worth
crazy.
Worth quite a bit, right? Because it's crazy how all this sparked from old cards being bought, and now the new stuff is still holding like a lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix of nostalgia cards and modern sets. So I think what people are getting hooked into is, first, it's nostalgia. They'll get drawn in through nostalgia, like, hey, you know, I used to have a Charizard, maybe it's worth something. And then they look through their cards, and then they're like, you know, I kind of like this, and I have nothing else to do right now, I'm gonna collect cards. So then they look for the modern sets and what's happening. Like, that's kind of what happened to me, where I looked at like my girlfriend's cards, you know, and she has all these old cards, and she's obviously not going to give them up or anything. But then I was like, man, I miss having cards, you know, like Pokemon cards. I like the different art, you know. I don't necessarily want to play right now, but I do like how. So with Yu-Gi-Oh is like, they always try to put out a new meta, a new like I guess archetype of monster, and it's always new things, and you kind of have to get used to like looking at new stuff. The only things that are kind of nostalgia older, like Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, stuff like that. Which, you know, like the first gen
and
stuff.
Which, like, the thing is, I think Konami did acknowledge that those were kind of like their standout cards kind of deal. So that's why they keep building around. Yeah, they still give support to them all the time, and like Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician decks are still viable to this day.
Exactly, and they know that. But the thing with Pokemon is that they don't have to keep creating new archetypes, like new monsters. They have their monsters. They just have to release new cards with different art, with different attacks.
That's so crazy how like the Pokemon franchise, Pikachu is like the poster child, but for TCG it's Charizard. Like all we gotta do is keep printing a new
not
Charizard.
Necessarily. I mean, yes and no. I mean, Pikachu is still the poster child. Like, people have Pikachu collections. Pikachu is like the main promo card in like Japan and stuff. Pikachu has tons of promo cards. Charizard, I would say, is second in line. He has a good amount of promos. He's a chase card in every set that he's in, regardless.
So what's
of how
the term
rare
chase card mean? You said that quite a few times.
A chase card is the most, like, the valuable cards in a set. The cards that people want.
Okay.
Like,
that's all I need.
In Vivid Voltage, the chase card is the Chonkachu, the Rainbow Rare Chonkachu. I saw that, yeah. Yeah, the chase card in Champion's Path is the Rainbow Rare G-Max Charizard or the Shiny Charizard. You know, it really depends on the set. There's one set that I learned recently is complete trash. Steam Siege has no chase cards. Ouch. So it's highly regarded as the worst set in Pokemon TCG.
So are these chase cards?
But that's what I'm saying.
Are these chase cards used in competitive play?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's the
See,
thing.
that's what
So,
sets it off from
it,
between Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. That's the
yeah,
disconnect I see.
that's why Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are so different in the sense that Yu-Gi-Oh, you get chase cards mainly for viability, sometimes for the art or nostalgia. Pokemon, it's mainly because of the nostalgia, the art, like what it looks like, and sometimes playability. It's not always playability.
I could see that.
It's really
I
crazy.
mean, it's that joke they make. It's like how many people actually knew how to play the Pokemon trading card game growing up. Like it was just fun looking at the cards kind of deal.
Yeah,
because Pokemon wasn't
you
about
have this attachment to Pokemon.
yeah, because you had everything surrounding the franchise. You had the video game, the anime, and just throwing cards in there was just more content for us to consume. For lack of a better way to say it, Yu-Gi-Oh was about the game. Just seeing this and just seeing the show, seeing our characters come out of it, and like, oh crap, what card is that? And just trying to figure out how to like do this and how is he gonna get out of this situation. So I can see what you mean by the nostalgia.
Yeah. Talk about how you got back.
Sure, okay.
After like we all quit, since I went into how I got back.
So
into the
to summarize
TCG.
for you now, you're just like keeping your eyes open, trying to buy the next thing. Pretty much what you're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I've been trying to play catch up with the most recent stuff, and I've kind of gone a little too out of control with buying cards recently, just because all this stuff keeps coming out and I want a chance at it, because if I miss it, I don't know if it's gonna be gone. And then I think I'm starting to get caught up with it, where I'm now on the next set.
Okay. So,
but
we'll talk
tough.
actual like
It's really
finance
tough.
numbers later on if we get the chance.
Yeah. Anyway, go into how you got back into.
So
Yu-Gi-Oh.
last year, one thing that I started doing with my girlfriend's brother and her cousins is that they were all into Yu-Gi-Oh. I think they've always been active, especially her brother. I think he's been active ever since. I think he's been active for the past 5 or 6 years. Like how we left the game during the introduction of pendulums, and when Burning Abyss was the meta, he was still active from there on out. So let's assume that. So they invited me out saying, hey, we're gonna. It wasn't last year, but I think it was like the year before. Where they're just like, hey, we're all getting together at like doing a church gathering kind of thing. We're gonna duel and play Smash. So at first I was like, oh, I'll just play Smash, yeah, and I didn't bring my cards. The next time I went, I decided like, oh, I'll bring my deck. I know it's completely different, but I'm pretty sure they'll give me a chance. So like, I asked them about what was going on with the meta, because remember in Yu-Gi-Oh they changed the rules where you can't spam out extra deck monsters.
Yeah, I saw
so
that.
that's I remember you telling me that, where it was like link monsters, and a link monster's arrows point to your monster zones, and that's what opens up extra deck monsters.
Yeah, they just completely changed the meta
So
of the game.
they do not do that anymore. We are now allowed to spam out extra deck monsters. Link summoning is just another extra deck mechanic.
Oh, they changed the format again.
Yes. So basically, your deck, if you were to spam out your extra deck, you can. Like, because I forgot the reason why.
So they removed that whole thing where the link monster's in the center and then it points.
Well, the link. So I still don't understand all the co-linking, but pretty much the link summoned arrows give you more openings to link summon in those spaces. That's what that does. But I don't want to go into too much in mechanics. So when I started dueling them, I obviously brought up my Cyber Dragon deck, which is an OTK style deck, and mine plays very slow. It's very brick heavy, and I was just getting annihilated by them. They ran Blue Eyes decks, Red Eyes decks. Her brother ran like a 6 Sam deck. Gate of the 6 is to 1, and he could have an end board with all boss monsters on his first turn. Like, it's insane. I was like, okay. And he found an infinite loop to where he could give infinite attack power to one of his monsters and go for game. And he pulled that on me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what the? So I was outmatched. Battle Boxers outmatched, Dark Worlds outmatched, and I was like, okay, it's whatever. And the thing I hated was that they weren't really treating me as kind of like the easy win, but they're like, you do know Monster Reborn's unbanned, right? Here, take one. And they like tossed me a Monster Reborn as if I needed it. And I'm just like, thanks. In my mind, I'm like, don't treat me like a child. like, I was kind of like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm getting destroyed by them, man. Like, what am I doing? But
so you're like, I need to buy cards.
right. Like, I want to, me, like, when I lose, I'm just like, no, I'm coming back. But I didn't want to get back into it right away because I was just like, no, I can't buy cards right now on Yu-Gi-Oh. I can't be doing this. Then later on, like months later, and then the pandemic hits, I started just like watching videos on Yu-Gi-Oh, like what's going on, and then I started I started trading with them, and they were just really nice about it. They're like, you need a card? Here, take it, right? Unless it was like a 30 above card. They're like, nah.
Yeah, super valuable card.
Yeah, like they were understanding of it. But if they had multiples of it, they're like, dude, take it for sure. Like, so at the end of last year, they introduced me to Dueling Nexus, which, because back then I used to play Dueling Network, which wasn't
the spiritual successor of Dueling Network.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of other ones, but I'm not aware of those ones. So that's where I started building my decks on there, because since that was a free program, free online thing where you could build your decks, play people online, do ranked matches and play against bots, I could test everything I do before buying it. So if everything was working against different situations, or if at least consistent, that's when I'd make my purchase. As of today, my Cyber Dragon deck I would deem is pretty good. I'm very excited for it. So I made my first purchase of cards last year. It was just singles. I got like, I think I spent over $200 on singles, you know. One card cost $30. I needed 3 of, and it's like the most popular hand traps. That's a big thing in the meta too, is hand traps. So hand traps like Ash Blossom, Infinite Impermanence, and like all those other cards like Psy-Frame, Gear Gammas, like that's almost in every deck profile I look at, they're just like, dude, you need 15 hand traps ready to go. And I was like, what? And like it's that's the common thing. And like those cards are like often just like either $10-15 each. So now that when I learned that, and I learned like kind of what's going on in the meta, and studying up on it, I'm now at the point where I'm just like, okay, I at least need
you gotta keep up with them.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up, and I've been just watching like a lot of videos. Like one YouTube channel I follow is the Kali Effect, aka King of Games, and it's this guy. He does like budget builds, and then he does his own matches with his buddy with the same decks that he's built, and then they do analysis games on what happened, kind of deal. Like, hey, I summoned this, but then he did this, and it's a good teaching tool, and he talks about the chains and stuff like that. So,
but from there,
from
there you just got back into it like deeper.
Yeah, so I'm getting deeper into it, and I think what officially got me in deeper is recently, and stay tuned for this video, guys, on my channel, which is I bought a box of Rise of the Duelists. It's a 24-pack box with a blah 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 guaranteed secret rare, because I was trying to pull a spell card called Triple Tactics Talent, and that's a $400 card, and it's a secret rare, and so there's like a 1 out of like 70 chance of pulling it per box kind of deal. And I tried pulling it, got crap from that box. Like, I was like really hoping for that card, because that card's not only super rare, it's super valuable, and 3, you could run 3. The effect of that card is if your opponent activates a monster effect during your turn, you could either A, draw 2 cards, B, take control of a monster, or C, one other thing. So it's like if your opponent does something, because hand traps are popular, bam, you get a free +2. So I was like, that's OP. And people are just like, yeah, this is like if like Pot of Greed and Change of Heart had a baby, and it's like unfair. And I was like, whoa.
They're definitely gonna do something in that card.
They're either gonna do something or keep it super rare.
They're gonna limit it.
Right. Because that's how Konami makes their money. If something's too powerful, they ban it so people can move on. If you look at Sky Strikers, that's exactly what happened. So I bought that box, and then I bought tins. I bought 12 tins.
God,
12 tins.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was the only option. No, that was not the only option. When I was on TCG Player, it was either buy 1 tin for X amount of money, or buy a set of 12 tins for this much. And I was just like, I don't want to buy 1 because my luck is horrible. Let's try the 12. And technically I was getting a better deal, because it's kind of like the buy 2, get it $10 off kind of deal.
Yeah. Sure, whatever you gotta do to
I am
justify
so
it.
so I have like all these extra tins, and even my mom. Funny story. My mom saw all the tins on the corner because I was gonna like I don't want to throw them away because they're so nice. I have 3 of them holding cards right now, and she's like, "Oh, is this chocolate?" I'm like, "No." She like, took, and it's just when she grabbed it, she's like, "Oh, there's no chocolate." I'm like, "You can keep the tin." So my mom has a Yu-Gi-Oh tin in her room now for whatever reason.
Okay.
So and from there I pulled pretty well. I pulled a fusion monster that I needed for my Cyber Dragon deck, which was Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is a $50 card. So I got 2 of those. So very good job on my end. But yeah, I would officially say as of now, I'm pretty deep into it. My goal right now is I want to at least make my current 3 decks decent against my what I like to call the friend group meta, because I don't want to get a meta deck that's being used in like YCS and stuff like that. Like that's not my thing. I'm not gonna buy the most expensive deck and use it against you guys. I just want to beat my friends. So after that, after I perfect my boxers, which is gonna be my weakest deck, obviously, my Dark Worlds are gonna be decent. I'm most confident in my Cyber Dragons. My 4th deck is gonna be a cute waifu deck, and I sent you that video about the waifu tax. But the problem in Yu-Gi-Oh is they were really smart about how they marketed their cards, because like you said with Pokemon, nostalgia is what boosts people. Charizard, Pikachu, and oh my gosh, like all the great artwork for Yu-Gi-Oh, just for the young boys, it was like, oh yeah, dragons, magicians, and oh man, all these bombastically crazy looking artwork of these like monsters that dominate the board with decent effects. They start to realizing, hey, you know what's in right now? Cute girls. And so they started making decks that were not only strong but cute looking. And you can see that in the early days with like harpy monsters, but then like it got like cuter and cuter and younger. So we had like
but
so like we got like
I mean Pokemon is similar in that way where the waifu tax thing happened. I mean,
really, is there like is there a trainer Misty card that I could buy? Because I'd be down.
Dude,
No
yeah,
kidding.
I mean, waifu tax is prominent in Pokemon. I mean, when you look at it, especially in the more, I guess, modern sets, because the thing I love about Pokemon now, in comparison to when we were kids, they have full art cards now. Full art cards are where the art takes up the entire card, not just like within.
See,
the
that's
box.
cool. I like
so,
that.
Yeah, and so they've taken a big advantage of that.
Uh-oh.
Where, so you'll have like a card like Misty's Determination where it was
I'm gonna look this up.
Constrained within the box at first, like your typical card art, and then there's the secret rare version of it where it's the full art of just an entire Misty on it. So there's Misty.
Oh my god!
You got all your favorite gym leaders. Misty. There's even a Cynthia full art. There's Lucamine.
Oh my god, this is adorable.
There's Lily. There's I recently got the Nessa full art, Olivia full art.
The Misty's Determination full art, man.
now.
Dude, I'd get this. Holy crap.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, where I feel like in a similar way for both games, for Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, another reason why it's getting wiped out is because people want these waifu cards. They just really want waifus. It's crazy. It's true. The waifu tax is a real thing.
Right.
Like everyone doesn't want to admit it, like deep down, but you'd want to get your waifu cards. Like I just recently, in the past couple of weeks, have just like, because my main thing was I wanted to collect a bunch of Charizards, which is really hard because they're so expensive.
Right.
But I was like looking at their cards, like, man, I want waifu cards.
Dude, I'm
like,
surprised that you're not.
I want some of my favorite.
I'm surprised that you're
leaders.
not building a Dark Magician Girl deck right now, man.
Dude, no, I gotta stick to a one card game right now.
Okay.
Like, if I get into Yu-Gi-Oh, that's game over for me.
Fair enough.
I'm not spending my money on anything else other than
Hey,
cards, and I can't
you
do
did
that.
say that. You did find out that there are gadget support for you, so just
I know, but just
hold on.
to kind of like go back into Pokemon a little bit, like, because you were talking about your pull rates and like how you bought like a booster box and 12 tins. Like I've been going down this deep rabbit hole where like I think I've bought well over 9 tins or something like that, and I've bought a booster box over 9 tins, like several booster packs, several blister packs, like 3 elite trainer boxes. I have 2 more.
So you've been buying nothing but like boxes, boosters, and tins. So you have yet to buy a single.
No, I've bought some singles. So my criteria is like, if it's a set where I only want like 1 or 2 cards out of it, I don't really want to try to pull for it, because then I'm just getting all this bulk for no reason. I'm gonna spend more money.
I go by that rule too, because the amount of bulk I have right now, I'm just like, dude, I might sell all these cards for like $20 on eBay or like on offer.
Yeah,
you know?
and then if I have like several cards in a set that I want, why not? It's worth trying to pull for, right? But at the same time, like, I feel like the difference with Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, another difference that is that with Yu-Gi-Oh, I feel like there's not that there's any shame in any of this, but like there's this kind of like no shame in buying the singles because you're just trying to make your deck better. But whereas with Pokemon, I feel like there's this weird like pride in like pulling the rare chase cards, right, versus just buying the chase cards on your own. Dude,
so one thing
it's more of a collector's aspect versus a viability aspect.
The thing that I fully support in your style is, dude, you can't buy that feeling of pulling the card.
Oh yeah, for sure,
and
for
dude,
sure.
So hopefully I had it all recorded properly when I look at my footage. But dude, when I saw the Dragoon, when I held it in my hands, I think that was like the worst possible thing to happen to me to get me back into this game. Because the rush I felt, my heart rate was going off, and I was just like,
there is a rush to it. You're not lying. There's like
you talk about
off of pulling good
like
cards.
We make fun of kids who spend money on like Fortnite like loot boxes and Overwatch loot boxes kind of thing, right?
This is the same thing.
This is the original gambling. This is the original loot box, right? And so like,
yeah, booster back.
Yeah. It's like, so with me, I was just like feeling so good. I was like, oh god, that felt so good. And then to make it worse, I got that feeling again with the second one, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just like, and like, I'll be honest, I love that feeling, and in my mind, I'm trying to control myself now because I'm just like, okay, there's another booster box being released next month, and I think I'm gonna be more data driven on your end of kind of like, what can I get from there that will help me, and is it worth trying to get that box and stuff like that.
Dude, no, I know how you feel though. Like, I think I've been opening up a lot of packs recently, and the full arts are really nice. Like, not all of them are like rare and expensive cards. They're technically ultra rares, and they're nice to pull and all. I've pulled a few. Like, the thing about Pokemon that I hate that it's pulled me in this way is that so they went from, you know how like in the old Pokemon cards, holos were just kind of like constrained to the box. The holographic was there.
It came
they
with
also have
everyone.
reverse holographics where it's like the rest of the card, and then now the full art ultra rare holographics, like the V cards and the GX cards, they're like the entire front of the card is holographic. And then now with even like the secret rares and the rainbow rares and whatnot, what's cool about them is like they're not just holographic, but they're textured, and it's really awesome to hold. Like I don't know, I'd have to show you in person what a textured like secret rare is like, but it's cool to touch and stuff. And when I bought a booster box of Darkness Ablaze. I was trying to pull for a Charizard VMAX card. That's the chase of that set. I ended up pulling a secret rare Rose card, the Rainbow Rare. It's like the Chairman Rose from Sword and Shield. Not in a very expensive card, but I was like, damn, I pulled a Rainbow Rare. This is dope. Like, it feels really cool. And then that kind of started like, dang, like I can pull this. Like, this is really awesome. And then as I started buying like more like blister packs and stuff, like the rate at which I pulled cards in comparison to when I was kids, or when we were kids, like as a kid you buy like 1 or 2 booster packs at a time.
Yeah, that's
it.
Yeah.
You don't really get anything. But now that I'm buying like, I bought like blister packs and stuff. The pull rates feel like they've been improved. Like I feel like I've been pulling rare cards more often. More recently, I told you about this. I was at a local drugstore
Buying
they sell
drugs.
booster-
Oh
or
no.
yes, buying drugs. No, I was picking up a prescription,
Okay.
and I saw in their display case they had these two collector chests. For you Pokemon people, they're the fall 2020 collector's chest with the G-Max Charizard and the G-Max Pikachu in
Right.
front. So I bought two of them because I was like, I haven't seen these anywhere for a while because like I used to pass on them like when cards were still readily available on the shelves. So I finally picked it up. I bought two of them, and I opened one when I was after I got home. I opened one, opened the booster packs. I got one of the secret rares. I got out of I think it was a Vivid Voltage pack is what it was. I pulled the secret rare gold shiny Oranguru card or something like that. I was like, damn, like I've never pulled a card like this before. And so I was like, I was gonna keep the other one on ice just to like either resell or like just have as a sealed collection. I was like, no, I want to open some more packs. So
Yeah.
I opened the second collector's chest. Lo and behold, in the Vivid Voltage packet in there, I pulled a fucking Chase Chonkachu, the $400 Chonkachu card.
Jeez.
And I was just I was joking around with my girlfriend and ComiBoog. I was joking around at some point prior to this, like a day or two prior. I was like, man, I really want to be that guy that does like when they finally pull the card and they do like the like the heavy breathing, like I was joking around, like I didn't think that ever happened to me, but as soon as I pulled the Chonkachi, I was like, oh god, like unironically, I was that guy.
Telling you, man, with how often you've been opening stuff up, you got to be recording this, man. Because I think that's what I'm gonna do when I start buying boxes. Like, I don't want to be a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. That's too much of an investment. But I think on my channel, I'm gonna have like a Yu-Gi-Oh section playlist or something like that. Because that feeling is crazy. Like, and people love that.
It is, and it's crazier too. Because like, okay, just today. I was over at Best Buy picking something up, and I kind of have this habit now where I check the cards, like just in case, the off chance.
Dude, I would do that too, but like I rarely go to the store just because I'm paranoid. But go on.
Yeah, but anyway, I picked up some booster packs. There were some Breakpoint booster packs there, and I was like, why not? I'm gonna pick up some. So they were the sleeve booster packs, which are the ones that are in cardboard, and the booster packs are inside. They're single booster packs. I bought like 8 of them, four to open and 4 to just hold on to, for whatever reason. When I got home, I opened 4 of them, and I was talking to ComiBoog, and I was like, so I think the chase card from the set is like a red Gyarados or something, a full art. And then as soon as I opened like the last pack, I was like, holy shit. Oh, like the feeling, like it's not an expensive card. I think it's like a $35 card.
That's still
or something.
solid though.
But like, I pulled the second most valuable card from that set. I was like, oh my god, I was just talking about this card. Like I was joking around. I didn't expect to actually pull it. So like, yeah, it makes me want to do booster pack unopening because like you never know, and like you want to prove to people it's like, yeah, I pulled this card. Like you may or may not believe me, but I pulled this card.
That's your best pull so far is the Chonkachu going for 400. Like I've yet to pull anything of that caliber, but you've been buying a lot more than me.
Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to play catch up.
Yeah, I think that's what it feels like for me, because after I fully learn what's really going on in the meta, I might like start buying more booster boxes and stuff like that. I think what's holding me back is one thing I was able to do, and one thing I kind of liked about pulling expensive cards, not even expensive cards, but just pulling cards that had a value of being traded in, is that at our local card shop, the guy, he was just really cool about taking whatever kind of deal, because that guy's not playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so but he knew the value of a lot of cards, and so that's the one thing I kind of liked about my Battling Boxer deck, is that it was just so cheap that I was able to build that entire deck just by
being a budget
player and pulling cards and trading them for cards I actually needed. And that's one thing I liked about Yu-Gi-Oh was that, let's say you do get an expensive card, but deep in your mind you know to yourself, oh, it's $10-$20 card, I really don't need it. So with me, it's like I like not really giving away cards, but I like having my cards go to someone that's actually going to use it. And let's be honest, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there are a lot of cards not being used right now. And do you really need those like with you? I'm not saying I'm going to throw away my cards, but
Yeah.
there are times where some of my buddies are like, "Hey, dude, are you using any of these like Shadow cards?" I'm like, "No, I'm not," and I just gave all of them to them because I'm not building a Shadow deck. And
Yeah, like what's the point of holding on to
right,
them?
right. There's no point holding on to them. I'm trying to like just make room and have stuff that's usually either for me or things I'm trying to keep in mind of. I might want to build a deck like that in
So
the future.
you'd say you're trying to lean out your cards to ones that you just think are useful.
Exactly.
Whereas
Or useful to someone else too.
Whereas I feel like, yeah, well, but whereas I feel like my bulk cards, I've been trying to like unintentionally make master sets. I mean, it's kind of like at this point I've bought, I wouldn't say so many, but it feels like a lot. A lot of booster packs, tins, boxes, and whatnot, to the point where like I might as well like just kind of off onto the side, like not actively try to do it, but like make master sets of the packs I've been getting. So I've been doing that, and then if I get any extras outside of those cards, I put them into another tin or another box, and I give those cards to ComiBoog's son because, you know, why not? Because I'm not going to use them. And then if there are more extras from there, I put them into a bulk tin, and then if there are some extras that I think like my girlfriend doesn't actively collect cards anymore. I don't think she really wants to get back into it that much, but I kind of just slip cards into her card binder to, you know, like in the case that she wants to or whatever. Like, I'm just trying to find places to put these cards so they're not kind of just sitting there.
that's my problem too. It's like they're just sitting there kind of thing. In fact, that's why like.
But I think if I get too much bulk, I think I kind of want to just donate.
Yeah. So one thing that my girlfriend's brother did is that since he's been keeping up with Yu-Gi-Oh for so long, he basically got a giant box of all the cards he didn't want, and that includes cards that were ultra rare, super rare, and stuff like that. He got a huge bulk of it, went on OfferUp and sold it for like $25, $30, right? And it's like, you know, 500 cards, maybe more.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting something.
Yeah, you're getting something back at the same time. You know, there are like people out there, and sometimes YouTubers who do the whole like, bought like a bunch of cards on eBay. Let's see if we find anything good in here, because you know there are the select few people who are just like, I'm moving or I'm done. These need to go. I don't care how much the price is. And then on the other hand, like me, it's like I'm keeping all the good stuff with me. And yeah, I'm going to be selling all these other cards that aren't used because some of the things I've seen online, which is not really heartbreaking, but even my buddy snapped me a picture of this before. There are people who like buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards, don't get what they want, and they throw it straight to the trash. And like my buddy snapped me a picture saying, "Bro, like this guy didn't like these cards," and I explained to him saying,
"What a waste."
Exactly. Now I know. In our mindset in Yu-Gi-Oh, we're not using every single card in every single deck. I get that, but just throwing them away. Like, I'm okay with getting all my cards and giving them to my local card shop so he could sell those cards for 25 cents each. I'm okay with that because at least...
I mean, you're also helping a small business.
Yeah. And that's why I remember when I was trying to get back into it, me and ComiBoog, it was like in 2019, we went to our local card shop. You know, he loves that place. And it was, I remember I saw a guy in the corner of my eye. He like went up to the desk, got a couple booster packs. He opened both, shook his head, and just left the cards on the counter at the card shop. And the card shop owner didn't like bat an eye. He's like, okay. And he took both of those, threw away the wrappers, and then he started separating them and put them inside the $1 binders and the 25-cent common pile. And, you know, you think about it, if there are kids who are really, really on a budget, they could be flipping through those and be like, oh, hey, 25 cents for this card, sure, you know. So that's kind of the circulation I kind of want to give my cards to, kind of deal. Not all of them, but obviously I just want to keep whatever I think is useful and manageable. And if you guys get back into it, I could be like, oh, hey, you guys need this, here you go. Let's help each other out.
That's kind of how I feel too. That's how I feel too. Like, if you guys ever decided, you know, I want to collect some Pokemon cards, I'll let you guys go through the bulk and like.
I feel like there's more of a chance of you coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh than me going into Pokemon. To be very honest.
No, dude. Dude, Pokemon is all about like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to find like the right card that looks cool. Like if you find
So,
the right Gengar,
like, I
card,
knew
that
you were
looks
gonna
freaking
say
awesome.
that. I knew you were gonna say that. Like, if it's just Gengar and Snorlax binder. Like,
Dude,
I'll step.
it'd be really dope. Seeing those kinds of collections
I'll
are really
step in that
dope.
direction. Maybe. Okay, you put me down maybe for that. Just on my end, like I just want people to duel. Just join me on Dueling Nexus, and then we'll play from there, kind of deal. And do what I do, like test your deck on there vigorously.
We'll meet each other in the middle somehow.
We'll both pick up Magic. How about that?
Oh,
No, we pull our pants up and cover our butt cracks. Okay, that's what we do. And we wear belts. So let me ask you this: with your collection growing big, are you spending money on ways to store them? Binders, slippies. What's your entire stock looking like in terms of organization, and how much money's gone into there? Because I got a funny thing to tell you.
I don't think I'm super organized at the moment. I mean, right now I've just been putting cards into tins and Elite Trainer boxes and kind of organizing in that way. And I bought a binder for like my Charizard cards, Charmander, Charizard, Charmeleon cards, and another binder for like the rare cards that I really like that I've pulled or bought. I think eventually I plan to just get like a tub and just put like all the tins and stuff in there. And then if that starts getting out of hand, probably starting to like decide what tins I actually like. I think ultimately Charizard products I'm gonna keep, and so I can have like a kind of a shrine almost, and then other tins that I didn't really like care for, I'm gonna start like putting bulk in them and giving them away and or selling them and whatnot. But for the time being, until it gets to that point, I think I would just store it into.
I would love to do our garage sale thing again and do like a nerdy garage sale. I think that'd be really beneficial because I got a lot.
I mean,
I got a lot of nerd stuff that I've been trying to liquidate as well. You know,
same.
Like just a bunch of like free stuff, or not free stuff, just a bunch of stuff that I got from like those terrible loot crate boxes. I'm just like, what in the heck am I gonna need this, man? But so far your plan is to like really organize them into like binders and stuff like that, because the thing is with me, from what I've noticed with my Yu-Gi-Oh crew, as I'm gonna call them now, is that they have so many like boxes, and I was so fat when I walked into this room. I saw a box that looked like a pizza box, and I automatically asked, "Hey, we're eating pizza?" He's like, "No, that's my Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's my Yu-Gi-Oh card box." And he flipped it up, and it was rows of cards, and I was like, "Oh," I just felt so betrayed because I thought there was pizza, but and like they have so many cards. Like they have, oh gosh, just crates. They got crates, dude. And my other buddy, he's got like binders. He has like 8 binders. And you know, here's all his effect monsters. Here's all his fusion monsters. Here's all his synchro, Xseed, toolkit monsters, or all the rares from this set kind of deal. And it's crazy. And I'm not saying I'm gonna get to that point, but part of me right now is like I want to have a form of organization to where it could benefit people looking through my cards. Because whenever I give them my cards to look through, I'm just like, oh, these 2 boxes are just full of spell cards kind of deal, and I at least wanted to have some sort of meaning and organization to them. But I have so many of the 2020 tins. I have 8 tins left. Do you want one? Because I don't know what to do with them.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I have a ton.
All right, I'll make them into gift favors, and you guys gonna get one. Put chocolate in there.
Kind of when I was into Yu-Gi-Oh, looking back at it now, I don't think I've ever had the desire. Like there are people that do, but I don't think I've ever had the desire to make a master set out of like booster pack stuff. I think I kind of like wanted to as a kid, but like more recently, because like you were saying, it's more about playing the game for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
So I never really had the desire to make a master set, but the difference with Yu-Gi-Oh is that I really wanted to make a lot of subsets. Like I like collecting Dark Magician cards, Red Eyes cards, you know, stuff like that, because it's the type of stuff that I liked. And again, with the whole nostalgia thing, I liked Dark Magician, I liked Red Eyes, you know, I wanted to collect more of these cards that related to it and make it look all nice and pretty in a binder, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if you're going to end up going in that direction at all, but it just seems like you're in it for the playability.
I'm mostly focusing on playability, and a lot of my research as well has been going to like what's the next deck in the more or less current state of the game that I could build. Like I was like, the reason here's a really dumb thing that I want to do, because I'm starting to do more research on sleeves. So I just found out that there's a thing called double sleeving, which is what one of my buddies does. because from the Ultra Pro brand, there are two types of sleeves.
Yeah.
There's the standard sleeve, which is for Magic the Gathering cards. It's a little bigger, and then
Magic Gathering and Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And then Yu-Gi-Oh has like a weird card
yeah,
size where because it's
much
smaller.
smaller. It's,
You're gonna do that. You're gonna put Yu-Gi-Oh card sleeves into standard card sleeves.
well, no, that's what my brother did, and like that's why his deck looks so chunky. And I was just like, oh, why is it? But then, I looked when I put my deck to duel my friend, his deck size was double the size of mine, and I was like, what? Are you running 60 cards? And he's like, no, I double sleeve. I'm like, that's a thing. He's like, it's a thing. And so, dude, in my cart on Amazon, I have a bunch of like small sleeves that I'm gonna like buy when I start building my decks up and basically making it official for me. And then there's a bunch of clear standard sleeves that I'm gonna put my sleeve the Yu-Gi-Oh cards into. So I am now a part of double sleeve gang, which is what I'm gonna do now. And like those deck boxes we have, the small ones that flip open. I'm not about that anymore. I get hardcover deck boxes now. That's what I'm gonna run now.
Dude, oh my god!
I have
elitist.
Dude, they sucked me in. They gave me a hard they asked me like, do you want a better deck box? I was like, no, I'm good. You don't need to. You don't quit giving me free stuff, man. Because I felt bad. I'm like, you guys are nice, but I don't want to keep taking stuff from you. He's like, no, I have an extra one. He gave it to me, and dude, it's like the most premium hardcover thing. And I was like, this feels nice, dude.
To be completely fair, we are adults now with full-time jobs, and we can totally afford to do some of this stuff.
Right. I mean, honestly,
we're not these guys with part-time jobs or no jobs. And like, yeah, I'm fine with the budget.
Don't be surprised if I kind of get you guys maybe like a nice deck box with stuff in it. We'll see what to get you guys into it. But that's the thing I'm afraid of now. Like, not only am I getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, the accessories of Yu-Gi-Oh are starting to like show up. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh God, I'm running out of space in my binder. I think I need a new binder. And like, oh,
bro, you're telling me.
I know, dude. Or it's just like, I have these nice like mats, right? But then I found out like you can get custom mats, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then there's a place to get custom sleeves, and my goal for the sleeve game is not only do I want a double sleeve, but I want to make it to where my Dark World deck, which has like really scary looking monsters, I want the sleeves to those cards to be cute girl sleeves. And then if I build a waifu deck, I want those sleeves to be like monster sleeves, just to throw people off. Just like, oh, that guy is such a weeb. Okay, what kind of deck does he have? Bam, Dark World. And it's like, oh. And then the other one's like, oh, that guy's got like dragons and stuff on his sleeves, man. I wonder what deck he's running. Cute girls on the other side. It's like, what the? I like to throw people off. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now. Like, I want to build a Sky Striker deck, or I'd build a freaking Dragon Maid deck if the waifu tax wasn't so high. Like, if I want to build that, that's already like $600 to $800 right there. And I'm like, nah, dude, that's a bicycle. Like, at this point, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to the point where like I feel like with the state of how trading cards are right now, there's a point where it's like, no, that's completely unreasonable. Like, I think for me, with certain cards, especially like Charizard cards, because they're so goddamn expensive, I think I've been trying to collect some sealed product. I think that's more my motivation kind of on the side right now. Like, I'm not actively trying to do it, but when I get a chance to, I'll buy some like extra sealed product so that I can maybe trade it for like a card that I know I want. Like, it seems weird because like, why, if I get this product, there could be a chance that I could pull it, but it's like, that's the thing, it's like there's only a chance I could pull it, whereas I can, maybe guarantee the card itself if I trade sealed product for a card that I want. Like right now there's this booster pack or this set called Evolutions, and it has a lot of like the old base set reprinted, but like people are trying to get like Charizard out of it.
Right.
Anyway, I think it's starting to phase out, and the price of booster packs retails like $4. Yeah. The price of this booster pack has gone up to like $15 to $20 now.
So that's something you might do, where it's like buy just a bunch of those boosters.
You use the sealed product as trading fodder.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about doing too, because there are situations where like, oh crap, this new card or this one card that's like dominating the meta is only pulled from this booster box, and people would buy a bunch of the booster boxes and then upsell it. And the thing that's crazy is people probably still buy them, not knowing that if they're paying more for that booster box, they don't even know if they're guaranteed to pull those cards, and it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why it's like a lot. Like there are cards that are worth over $100 and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay for that stuff. Like, I think I'd rather try to trade for it somehow, or like somehow get lucky with like a really good auction on eBay. I don't know. But like there's so many cards that are just so out of reach. Like there are a lot of Japanese promos right now. Like there's this one Charizard promo that came with like an art book. I think originally was like $40, and now it's like a $700 card ungraded. And I'm just like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to spend what would be equivalent to someone's like rent, to buy a card. That's so unreasonable.
The card economy is just insane. It's like, I mean, people can legitimately make money in a business out of it.
It really is. Like, there was an article I saw. Someone paid off med school with Pokemon cards, and then there's a YouTuber that I saw that put a down payment on a house with Pokemon cards, and I'm just like, that's crazy. You could buy a house. Maybe not a house, but you could buy a car.
And again, this is like us placing value on something that's just a piece of cardboard. How wild is that? Like look at Magic the Gathering. The Holy Grail is the Black Lotus. You could buy a car with that card, and that's why that's why guys like to try to look for the booster pack or the booster box where the Black Lotus came from. I gotta send you a video by Ordinary Things that's about trading cards. It's a solid watch because he talks about how the economy of cards and like where trading cards came from and everything. And like, I think that's the one thing I kind of like and hate about Yu-Gi-Oh is whoever wins these tournaments, that pretty much shifts the economy of cards. But if the card archetype gets too powerful, in order for Konami to sell their next set, they either need to make the next set even more
they have to nerf
even more powerful or nerf the deck. And we've seen that.
And then the economy shifts.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, I want to build a Sky Striker deck, but their main engine card is banned. But part of me is like, I'm glad it's banned because that means it's cheap now, right? And it is super cheap, but I don't want to be playing a banned card against my friends. And I asked them if they're cool with that. They said, well, if we're going to allow banned cards, let me play freaking Card of Safe Return. I'm just like, no, that's too powerful. It's just stuff like that. And so, like, that's the thing that I hate about Konami is just that they were able to find all these like gaps in like these strategies, and before you know it, everyone's running the same deck. Like, it's the amount of like videos I've watched on the tier 0 history of Yu-Gi-Oh, like where at one point there was like a tournament where it was like 80% like Zodiacs or like 80 to 90% Burning Abyss. Can you imagine that? Just like that, and that's how people win. They don't win by playing the best deck. They win by countering their own deck in a Ditto kind of deal.
Yeah.
And sometimes the top decks in the world aren't even a specific engine. They're just like total like floodgate decks where it just locks your opponent down, counters everything you do, and then pokes you until you die kind of thing. So that's the thing, like with Yu-Gi-Oh, that's a little iffy, is that us, the players, can be the cause of these things going on if we abuse the power, if we abuse the prices and stuff like that. I'm not saying like we're kind of like those guys on Wall Street Bets where we can control it, but like Konami calls the final shots in it, and if they ban a card, limit a card,
I mean, it's their game,
like, destroys it. And in the end, they are just trying to make money, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like let us play.
It's really interesting to see like how each company is doing this, like where Yu-Gi-Oh, they have to ban cards and make even more powerful decks and stuff. With Pokemon, it's like they either gotta introduce a new mechanic or they just gotta make a really cute waifu card or just the next variation of the most popular card, because I've seen sets where they have like the full art card normal, and then they have the rainbow rare card of it, and then they have the what was it?
Like, dude,
I think it's like the gold rare or
I'll
something.
dedicate a whole page really to a Misty card. Heck yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. The shiny rare.
Oh.
But yeah, they got shiny cards too. But there are 2 Misty full art cards. One of them is Misty's Favor, which is more popular. So Misty's Determination, I think, is like a currently
Misty's
around
Favor. Let me see.
$15 full art. Misty's Favor is like an $85 full art card.
It's $100 on TCG. Oh my, she's adorable.
Yeah, it's like 85 to 100 or something
oh my
like that.
Gosh.
But it's crazy. The card prices have gone insane, and dude, like there are so many things I want that I can't afford to just drop money on right now.
Yeah, that's
But
why
I
I'm
think
scared
right
it's a
now
slippery slope kind of thing, and like that's why with the next few boxes for Yu-Gi-Oh right now, I'm just like I don't know. It's just like I don't want to be spending money and getting more stock of stock I'm not gonna use, and I think after I
See, that's the
build,
difference between Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, though. Is like with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like I have these cards I'm just not going to use, and they're just sitting there. Whereas, like I think with Pokemon, it's like, you know, because it's a more of a collector's hobby as I mean, you can still play it, but a lot of people, I would say, just do it for the collection aspect of it. Like you have a master set, you know, you feel like it's not as useless because you're trying to complete a master set.
I mean, I would love to have something in the future where because I love looking at people's collections. I think in the future, man, if you have like a solid collection on your hands, you should just show it off on a video. Like here's my Charizard binder, and because it does
eventually I would
it
love
does
to.
create like good storytelling in your mind. Like, oh dude, I bought this on this, and I was like, whoa, and oh with me like, oh we'll see. It's like I don't want to be a Yu-Gi-Oh channel because like I'm not gonna be like I don't have a bombastic crazy personality on camera, like not like Team Samurai X where like I pull the card I want and I scream like Goku. Like I don't like being like that, but then again I kind of want to have a mechanic on my videos where you could sense my heart rate and watch it jump because I see that no one's done that yet. I think that'd be hilarious if it's like my heart's beating at 100 feet 100 beats per second. And it's just like, why? Because I pulled this.
I mean, there was one YouTuber that I saw that they were trying to pull for the Rainbow Rare Chonkachu, and was it Chonkachu? I think it was. Anyway, they had the heart rate monitor thing, and their heart rate went crazy as soon as they pulled the chase card they were looking for.
Heck yeah, dude. So are we doing this then? So Man-Made channel turned into a card channel?
I mean, our individual channels, sure. I don't know about
if we ever all get back into
channel
Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm down to duel each other over like doing Nexus or just like over video chat kind of deal.
I don't know, man. One card game at a time. More than one is too crazy.
Okay,
I can't be dropping money.
Understandable.
Like
yeah. Have a good day. Okay. All right, that's that's all I have to rant about Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. Just pretty much this video was just an update on the newest addictions we picked up. Next episode, Civ 6.
Yeah,
starring me.
Oh no. But I think that was the point of this podcast episode, just talking about our new current obsessions and how the pandemic has kind of, pushed everyone towards these hobbies, especially, like if you've ever been to your store, again, it's cleared out and you're probably wondering why, and this is why.
Have fun destroying the dreams of children.
Have fun destroying not your opponents because your deck's
just shut up, dude. How did I go through this entire video without sounding like Joey Wheeler? Joey Wheeler with my red eyes black dragon. Gotta win this for my sister Serenity. All right.
I think that's it.
Well, we're gonna be around, spending money.
See y'all in the next
later.
one. Bye.